Wasn't live.
I've pressed it now.
I was gonna say we're not live. I'm checking. I think we're not live, man.
And is Amal frozen for anyone else?
No, he's delayed.
He's lagging
hard.
He's delayed.
Amal's delayed for me big time.
No, Amal, just Amal.
Oh, if we said loud.
And boys and girls, my name is Amal, and joining me tonight, I have Mus and George, and we are the Money Loose. Technical difficulties. We've had a few issues this. Most, all of them coming from me, but nevertheless, we're happy. We're up and about. Gentlemen, how are you feeling?
Yeah, good. Had a nice, quiet week. Happy with the win on the weekend, but yeah, overall, very good from my end.
That's good. Feeling.
Amal, we've got some technical difficulties again with your camera. Your camera is very frozen, mate. You've got a really psychopathic look on your face right now.
We'll kick it off.
I'm G'd up for the weekend, man. I'm happy to go into this round very confident again. And yeah, Mus, how you feeling, bro?
Mate, I'm crook as a dog. I actually lucky got to stay home from work today, so yeah, feeling good apart from being sick. But I think it's a consequence of Saturday out in that MCG, jumping around like a clown after that win, screaming, lost the voice then, and it's all been downhill from there. But hopefully, it'll be good for Saturday. So, Georgie, what do you got going on?
All good, bro. If you're not feeling well, stay home tomorrow. Just watch the Carlton Melbourne replay again. Can't tell you how many times I've seen that in the KO Mini this week. But yeah, fuck, what a week. It's been great. Hey, anytime we get multiple wins, it's a great. So 8 unheard of. So it's been fantastic. Looking forward to making it 9 this Saturday.
Absolutely.
That's good. Well, how are we feeling, gentlemen? It's excuse the lack of visual at the moment as far as I'm concerned, but how are we feeling about the game coming up against the Gold Coast Suns up at Heritage Bank Stadium on the Gold Coast? We're feeling confident. We're feeling nervous. Do you think we can make it 9 in a row? How are we feeling?
Easy money. Easy money. 10 goals plus.
10 goals plus.
Wow. I will say every time you've said that, it's happened. Like not the 10 goals, the easy money. Gamble
easy
responsibly,
money.
everyone.
Easy money. I reckon we'll. I actually think we're gonna come out and smash them, Mike. I don't think they're on our level now. I just think our system is gonna get them and. It's going to be an easy win. I reckon Harry's going to kick it back. Oh, man, I'm just excited. I'm keen, boys. I'm keen.
Well, how are we feeling about Harry coming back in?
Important. I reckon Charlie's happier than anyone. Bloke's been double teamed, triple teamed, banged up. You saw him just, clocking up the Ks over the last few weeks, getting banged up against Saints, against these. So I reckon he's happier than anyone. I think it's important to get Harry that extra sort of, body down the line on the half-forward flank, down the wing. As long as they keep within sort of 30 or 40 meters away from each other, just play him separately. But yeah, I think it's important to have him back, a big body in the team. And I think he needs a game or two before the finals anyway. So you want him sharp, you want him fit, you want him firing.
I think this is the most perfect game to bring him in, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. Well, that's it's a good little segue into the teams. Now we'll jump
before
straight into
you do the teams, Amal.
Yeah.
Just to let people know, we do have a big announcement coming. Stick around to the end of the show. Got a bit of a pretty sick surprise. So stick around and wait to the end, and get around us. Go on, Amal.
Good call, Andy. And trust me, you guys don't want to miss this. I'm not just saying it to try and tag you along until the end of the video, until the end of the live. But trust me, you do not want to miss out on this.
No, we're joking.
Now, team lineups. We'll kick it off with the Gold Coast Suns. Big changes coming into that team. So going out, Darcy McPherson, Elijah Hollins, James Sitsis, Jai Farah, Nick Holman, and Sam Day. Half of them have admitted, one's injured and one was a sub for last week. Coming in for the Suns, Alex Sexton, Ben King, Braden Fiorini, Connor Buderick, and Lloyd Johnston. Do you guys know any of them? I don't.
Sexton.
Ben King.
Players
no idea where they are.
Have
same
some
knowledge of the players
opposition.
going in and out. Now, look, I think honestly, every to be serious, every in they've got, but look, I can't say that I know Johnston to be honest, but every in that they've got is an upgrade on their outs. But I probably know the same about each player that is in and out. You know, it's Gold Coast, right? But King and Sexton usually play well against us. Not the last time, but they usually do historically well. Sexton especially, that bastard. But anyway, so.
King won't get a touch.
I reckon the Gold Coast players don't even know who's coming in to play for them.
They're just taking it 1 week at a time.
Who's this guy?
Who the fuck is this guy?
Even the supporters are confused.
Oh, jeez. And ins and outs for Carlton. So, Lockie Fogarty injury. Did you guys hear anything
Soreness.
come out of the club
they
about
reckon
around?
Soreness.
Soreness.
Just
didn't
general
train.
soreness?
Didn't
Sick
train
of
all
winning.
week apparently.
Sick of winning.
What did he say?
Sick of
That's
winning.
disappointing.
Sick of winning.
What you look sad there? Your boy pulled up sore.
Oh, Fogs.
Hey,
Your boy pulled up sore. You look a bit
yeah,
upset about it.
disappointing. Who's going to put the pressure on? Well, hopefully Harry.
100% he will, bro. Harry's going to kick 8.
Behind. 8 behinds.
Oh, look.
Nah, don't even. Why would you put it out there, bro? Why would you even say that? Harry's
First
kicking
Carl.
8, 12, but 8.
And that's better. That's better.
I was thinking that it's probably. I was thinking Doc was gonna probably not get up because of the cork to the calf, but I reckon it would have been a 50-50 to see who got up between Fogg and Doherty this week. And apparently Fogarty didn't train or barely trained or whatnot as well. And his physicality. I know last week was a physical game, and I don't want to use the soreness and the physicality as an excuse because we didn't let Collingwood use it against when they played Port and they versed us, right? So, admittedly though, with the stats that came out and the tackling and the pressure, there would have been a couple of banged up bodies, and it looked like Fogarty probably was on the receiving end of a few things. So, I just thought it was going to be him or Doc, and then I was worried if it was Doc because who replaces Doc? He's harder to replace than a Fogarty, right?
Yeah,
so I know we've gone small
absolutely.
for tall. With Walsh and Shearer out, losing Doc wouldn't have been ideal. So, and at the start of the season, I don't think any of us, if you said, I don't think any of us would have been stressed if you said Fogarty's going to be an out. Now there's a little bit of tension and stress now. Not even the start of the season, 10 weeks ago, we wouldn't have thought about it because he was almost a forgotten man. So
I'm glad you said. I'm glad you said Doc instead of Doherty. You're trying to say Fogarty and Doherty in the same sentence, mate. That would have had you going.
But the joke's tonight.
Now, a couple of milestones coming out of this game, and we got David Cunningham playing his 50th after 13 seasons, and Matty Cottrell playing his 50th.
Sad but true. Sad but true.
And Matty Cottrell playing his 50th as well. Both have been absolutely welcome additions. I think Cottrell I've always been a big fan of, but David Cunningham was one, prior to his return into the side. I was kind of like, I don't think this guy has a future at Carlton. Would you guys say that you were on the same wavelength there, or thought that David Cunningham was part of the future squad?
Never in doubt. Premiership player coming up.
I think if he didn't get up like this year and play, I reckon he would have been in trouble, to be honest.
I think so
But
too.
yeah, but having him play those few games now and cementing his spot has been good. For
He's
the
out
club
of
and for
contract,
himself.
yeah?
I'm not
He's
sure.
out
One
of
of the
contract?
few, I think.
Hmm.
I'm pretty
Might
sure
be.
he is out of contract. Yeah.
Yeah.
To his defence, I don't think we saw enough of him to see what he would be capable of, and I don't think there was a role or a task that sort of he was equipped for within the structure that we did have, or the system that we did have at the time. So I think he's come in at the perfect time to sort of revamp his career, I think. So
It's been a welcome addition. Now, the only person coming in, and we've obviously talked about this already, but Harry Mackay coming in as the replacement for Lockie Fogarty. I think the only thing that I'd like to see from Harry Mackay is just to go in the opposite direction of Charlie Curnow. The last thing I want is for them to be going up for the same ball, which has happened so much in the past. It's definitely going to take a level, one or two people off Charlie Curnow in the forward line, which is great. That's the benefit of having two key forwards. But yeah, just please, for the love of God, Harry and Charlie, don't go up for the same bloody ball. That's what
I'm not worried.
I think
I'm
they'll
not
be all
worried
right,
about that.
man.
Yeah, so do I,
they'll be all right.
They had it working so well just before Harry got injured, and we were well.
Especially the Freo game.
Run. Exactly.
Yeah, that's right. He had a ripper.
Yeah.
So I reckon we're good.
Yeah, be interesting to see what the chat thinks. How does everyone else feel about Harry Mackay coming into the team? Now, I know I can see that Selena has mentioned that she's nervous for H.
Going through the replies, J&H Carpenters. He's our biggest fan. Clearly,
Yeah.
He's been everywhere.
Massive Carlton supporter.
Massive cat too. I don't know. I've heard he's a bit of a
Meow.
a bit of a pussy, if you ask me. Along with his staff members, so I don't know. Make sure you don't use J&H Carpenters. Just build it yourself. Do a better job.
Now, Marty in the comments as well reckons that he's on the same plane as Cripper, Curnow, and some of the other boys going up to the Gold Coast.
Please kiss Curnow on the lips for me. Right on the mouth. Tell him the Monday Blues say hi.
Send him a link.
Tell him, just send him the live. Just forward it to him. Anyway, last couple of encounters between the Gold Coast Suns and the Baggers. Now we beat them by 10 goals in the last game on Sunday, June the 18th in round 14. But prior to that, April last year, 2022, Gold Coast Suns beat us by 30 points up in the Gold Coast. I don't think that's going to happen again. Not with this team.
They play well up there. They do play well. We started our engine against them in round 4. That's when it cranked over. We're on
Very
one.
true.
Hopefully it keeps running.
Yeah, right about the home turf. They beat Geelong, North, Hawks, Saints, Lions, and they pushed Melbourne to within a goal. So they got a good record there.
They played
good. So not saying I'm worried, just a little bit wary.
You're absolutely right. No, you're right. They are pretty good out there.
They need to be respected. I mean, we can't just walk in thinking we're going to take this one in the bag easily.
They'll be lucky to get within 8 goals, mate.
I think we need to give them the respect and play each game as it comes and walk in there with the best side and get the job done.
The Levi Casbolt Cup. Levi Casbolt Cup, huh?
Who would have thought?
How's that work? Who kicks the most points on the Fools?
Both.
He's been good. He's actually been good.
Who drops the ball the weirdest? Oh, he's
TD Cat's got that one, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Nah, I think Castle's worse. But anyway, lineups. Backline for the Gold Coast Suns: Charlie Ballard, Sam Collins, Mac Andrew, Noah Anderson, Rory Atkins, and Brandon Ellis. Coming up against the forward line of Carlton in Jack Martin, Tom DeConning, David Cunningham, Jesse Motlop, Charlie Curnow, and Matty Owies. Yeah, you'd think that we've got that under wraps. I think we're going to dominate that back line, especially when you think that you've got Harry Mackay on the interchange bench for that half forward line. That's pretty crazy.
Does Harry? Do you reckon Harry gets subbed off halfway for fitness or something?
No.
Do you reckon we manage Harry during the game?
I don't know. I don't think he's been out.
I don't think you want to manage him. If you want to got finals to worry about, keep him fit.
Get the minutes, and so it all depends on who's like. If they pick Jack as sub, because Jack's obviously versatile.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, is Jack available?
Emergencies. Yeah. So
wow.
I think we'll go through that in a bit, but it depends on who they pick as a sub. If you're picking him, I reckon it'll be touch and go right up until the bounce. Like Voss will be just sussing out and seeing how the players fare, and then if there's a midfielder that might be sore or a halfback or whatnot, that's probably where he's going to maybe decide to go Ed. But if Harry's like or any other tool for that matter, I reckon he might put Jack. So I reckon that decision will be made very close to the. Well, it is made close to the bounce, but I reckon that decision will be made on the day.
What's the weather like in the Gold Coast at the moment?
Always sunny. What is it, like 20?
Yeah,
23, 24 degrees probably, or something like that.
Anything's better than Melbourne weather. Yeah, exactly.
It's hard.
just curious to question, just because I don't remember the last time we've gone this tall. If Mackay does get up, Mackay, Kerno, TDK, Pitternet.
Even better.
The last time we went this tall was against the Suns, wasn't it?
I'd say so.
We had all four in.
Was Pitternet playing? I don't think Pitternet played.
I think
he did.
Yeah.
I think he did. And then that's when the injuries started to happen with TDK and Pito, and then we didn't have any ruck, and then Lewis Young came in and Jack Silvani.
We did. We had all of them.
Yeah, that's probably the last time. There you go.
And it was a 10-goal win.
Look, what are your thoughts on Pito for in general? But against Jared Witt, personally, I think you need him. But keen to hear your thoughts.
Jared Witt is a unit of a man.
Huge.
Of a man. So we need that big body against him. Otherwise, he's just going to bully TDK like in the ruck work around the grounds. TDK will probably outwork him, but as far as running goes, but I think 1-on-1, Jared Witt is a man. So you need that mature body right next to him.
You want Pitnet to bang him up a little bit, and TDK can take a hanger on one else. You know what I'd like to see, though, in all honesty, I like for us, and just for what you just said there, Andy, as well. Like, and we're all guilty of it. The mentality for us has always been focusing on the opponent's strengths and how to shut them down. I feel like the narrative is starting to change a little bit to us becoming the danger, right? So, like, what I'd like to see, so I hope Pito can step up and bring the heat, make Witts worry about him. It's probably not going to happen, but anyway, I just like to see it, right? So make him work, make him chase. So I just like to see that from us making teams worry.
I just liked hearing it, George. It sounded really good.
Oh, thanks, Moose. Sorry, Andy, go
on. I was just I was agreeing with you that we are who needs to be shut. Like, they need to shut us down. So I think they'd be looking at us thinking, all right, they've got Pito, they've got TDK, they've got Kerno, Mackay, they've got Wiedering down back. We are pretty tall. We are playing a tallish side. But we're weapons. They all provide a really strong weapon, a really strong tool.
Pew, pew.
So if you're the opposition, who are you going to invest your time into? You know what I mean? Because don't forget, Cripps is a big body in the midfield as well. Hewitt's a big body in the midfield. So, yeah, it's a challenge for opposition teams now that we're up and about. How do we shut down these big guys? So I think you're absolutely right, George.
Mm-hmm. TDK. Since we're on the topic, we might go through the midfield first, and then we'll have a quick chat about TDK. Lloyd Johnston, Sam Flanders, Braden Fiorini, Malcolm Rosas, Jack Lukosius, and Ben Ainsworth coming against the midfield of the Baggers in Ollie Hollands, Paddy Cripps, Sam Doherty. I went through the half-forward one. Ollie Hollands, Paddy Cripps, Sam Doherty, and following Mark Pitney, George Hewitt, and Blake Akers, and following for Gold Coast, Jared Witts, Matty Rowell, and Took Miller. Now, Took coming back in, I think he came in last week or the week before that.
A couple weeks ago.
Yeah, big in for the Gold Coast Suns, albeit a bit too late for as far as their finals campaigns are concerned. But I think our midfield should have the number on them once again. Now, Tom De Koning, what would we like to see from Tom De Koning?
4
Take a
quarters.
Mark.
Take a mark, big time. Just take a bloody mark, man. Because I think we spoke about him last week. He and watching the replay for 13 times throughout the course of the week, he had a good game.
Yeah.
all in all. He had a really good game. He just couldn't freaking take a mark, man.
to save his life.
Yeah.
He took one. Look, he took one in the last quarter. He loves a chest mark now, and that speaks volumes about his confidence. I think.
Confidence. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. So he really needs to just clunk some marks. That's
Yeah.
all he's missing right now.
absolutely. Absolutely. And Peter V. Bluebagger in the chat reckons that he'd like to see TDK clunk a few. Well, we 100% agree with you there. Now,
The
we are
Bronx,
going to
the
go
Bronx
to...
cheers when he marked it on the chest. Like you don't want to keep hearing that at the games, right? There was the Bronx cheers going around the ground when he took that chest mark on the wing. So yeah, you want him to you get a bit of confidence. But I'll give him credit, as we said in the review. His game was fantastic. He worked his ass off, and the touch at the end to deny Melbourne the mark. So he still made a massive impact.
Great sport.
Backline for Carlton: Brody Kemp, Jacob Wiedering, Nick Newman, Alex Chincotta, Caleb Marchbank, Adam Sard, going up against the forward line of, I'll take two, Malcolm Rosas, Jake Lukosius, Ben Ainsworth, Connor Buderick, Ben King, and Levi Casbolt. Now, probably the only, well, there's three, I guess you could call them weapons, one being half a weapon depending on his day. Jack Lukosius and Ben King definitely being weapons, and Levi Casbolt on his day can be dangerous. He's got he's probably the strongest pair of hands in the AFL, I reckon. It's unfortunate he can't kick, but he can definitely take a mark and outmuscle pretty much anyone in the league. But having said that, Caleb Marchbank, Nick Newman, Jacob Wiedering, Brody Kemp, they can all go up against key forwards. I think our backline is going to take care of them pretty comfortably. What do you guys think?
I don't think the ball's going to be there enough to have to worry about it, to be honest.
I like his style, Carl.
Yeah,
There's a reason why we're the number one defense in the AFL.
that's right.
They're not doing anything.
Because we got Plowman. Sorry. No, I reckon clearly, honestly, I don't reckon the ball's going to go forward much. I reckon we're going to just dominate and it's just going to stay in the midfield and our forward line, and that's it. They'll be lucky to kick one goal the whole game.
Love the confidence, Carl. I think we'll smash them. I honestly think we're better at each line. I think on each line we've got better talent. The only thing that can maybe stop us is ourselves. If we have an off game, like if we do the long ball inside 50, there's low percentage shots on goals, that's the only thing that can stop us.
Yeah,
we can only get in our own way against teams like the Gold Coast. I mean, what are they, like 15th on the ladder or something?
Yeah,
mate. We this should be just light work for us. Just get the job done and come home
and just get us into finals, man. Give us what we want.
That's it. There's no point for the players to think too much into it, and just get the job done.
100%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We've got better talent on each line. There's no excuses for us to lose this. Just get it done.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ian.
Absolutely.
Just quietly, it won't happen. But if Melbourne somehow lose, how big? And we win. How big is next week?
Huge.
Oh, it's huge. Because I was playing around with the ladder predictor before, and I think if we win this week but lose next week, we still stay fifth. I don't think
Yes,
anyone
that's
jumps
correct.
over the top of us.
No, actually, no. St Kilda has to lose.
For us to stay fifth.
Yeah. If St Kilda wins both and we lose one, they take
Who
our
are
spot.
they?
If we
Right.
lose.
Yeah.
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 That's not going to happen, so don't worry about it. All good.
No, St Kilda's going to lose both anyway. End up finishing 10th because they're irrelevant.
As
Putting it
Andy
up
likes to call them. Interchange bench for both teams. For the Suns, Alex Sexton, Bailey Humphrey, Sean Lemons, what a lemon, David Swallow. And for the Baggers, Zach Fisher, Paddy Dow, Matty Cottrell, and Harry Mackay. I think big games in terms of future, I guess, locations for both Zach Fisher and Paddy Dow. There was rumors, George, I think you sent it in the group chat earlier this week about Paddy Dow. Do you want to share that?
Yeah, apparently the club allegedly is putting an offer to Paddy to stay, but he will explore his options for the time being. So I think they were talking about a 2 to 3 year contract. I think 2 years was likely, but as expected, he'll explore his options, and it'll be interesting to see, obviously, when Walsh and Chera, if they come back next week, what happens with Paddy's spot. We're all immensely proud of what he's done. You know, this show, this preview was always talking about why he's not named or why he's named a sub and whatnot. It's nice to see him get a run of games at it, and he's shown, you know, he's shown that he's above VFL level. He can impact games or whatnot. But I think he'll be exploring his options, knowing that Kennedy, Walsh, and Chera still have to come back, and everyone will tell you that they're going to be in line first to have that, you get back in that midfield. So, yeah.
Asher in the comments says, biggest game in Paddy Dale's career. What happens next week if he gets 25 plus kicks again?
Probably adds 50 grand to his contract.
Well, this is the thing. Like, who do we actually take out? If Paddy Dale, and even if he has a quiet game, it'll be brutally unfair to drop him. But I mean, someone's got to get out for Chera and Walsh. And we had this chat in the review of the Melbourne game. It's just a question that, the selectors have been probably doing their own heads in about. And it's a great problem to have. It's a great problem.
That's the successful sides, your Hawthorns, your Geelongs, and you see how unlucky some players are to not play in a final or a grand final or not. But they're not doing anything bad. They're playing really well. It's just that obviously there's a bit of selection integrity. There's obviously playing your stars, your game changers, your X factor players, and whatnot. Yeah, we're missing like Walsh and Chera, right? It's huge. So, and not saying they're going to make us an X better goal side or whatnot, but it's just saying that what you're going to, well, generally speaking, you know what you're going to get from them. There's a higher scope of impact to the game. So it's going to be certainly interesting because, and it's been very much talked about on almost every show this week where they're saying, hey, be careful of who you bring back in because it's not automatically going to make you a better side. But hey, how great is it to see players like your Cottrell, your Chincotta, your Kemp, your Fogarty, Motlop, everyone's coming in and doing a job Marchbank, so this is and some of these names that I've read out and more, when we're talking about in the mid-season review and during our barren spell, we were thinking these guys aren't going to be on the list next year, so I'm glad that some of them have actually turned it around. So it'll be interesting next couple of weeks.
Here's a question, sorry Carl, here's a question that Peter V. Bluebeggar chucked up in the chat, which I think is worthy of a couple of minutes at least. Dow or Hollands?
Hollands.
Different role players. You can't pick one or the other. It depends on the system and what we're sort of changing or chopping.
Well, with where we are at the moment, do we need a Hollands type player more at the moment, or do we need a Dow type player?
Hollands.
If you got Walsh and Chera coming back in, or Hollands all day.
Hollands. He'd have to come across good wingers.
His kilometers that he clocks up, his run, his first and second, third efforts can't be understated. So he's like, you can't just look at the disposals. Obviously, the 1%, as you see him, especially in the Melbourne replay where he puts his body in line. I'm not saying that doesn't do that, but Dow is easier to replace than what Hollands
Agreed.
is.
Yeah.
That sounds so harsh, but it's so true. It really is true.
It is.
It's
I've got a question for you.
Yeah, go on, Carl.
With like the likes of Chera and Walsh coming back in, say if it was like round 3 or round 4, would it still be the same talks and these players going to come in and come out since it's like finals coming up? Do you reckon it'll be the same discussions, or do you reckon
every game's worth 4 points? I reckon, yeah. Every game's worth
no same change, same thing, yeah.
It's
just interesting. The interesting part about all this is that it's a testament to the system, because we wouldn't be having this convo 10 weeks ago. You'd be going, Dow who? You'd be going, we need Chera, we need Cripps, we need Mackay, we need all our best stars.
We just want to win one game.
Yeah, how about the 350 comments on our Dow videos saying you guys got no idea? Yeah. He turned around and proved them wrong. I'm happy for him, man, honestly.
Yeah.
Paddy,
He was killing it. He was killing it for how long in the Resis? And then they bring him in for a game and he
they
get,
complain.
What game? 10 minutes. 10 minutes. They bring him for 10 minutes.
And he racked up like,
I'm talking about last year. I'm talking about last year,
Oh,
the
yeah.
year before. Like, the bloke wasn't getting the block games. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm so happy for him, and if he decides to leave, I wish him all the best. Like, Usually when players leave, especially on their own accord, I'm always a bit dirty. But man, totally understandable for Dell.
I think most
wish him
people
nothing
think the
but
same. That.
success,
Yeah.
except when he plays Carlton.
You know what's funny? The poor bloke is still going to come out against Carlton next year and get booed.
Yeah, 100%.
Poor bloke tried his heart out to cement a spot in our team.
I don't think he's going anywhere.
I've got a feeling he'll sign too.
Yeah, I reckon he's staying.
I've got a sneaky suspicion Dow signs.
Straight out, man. If that's the case, the club must have done a serious number to his psyche to make him feel like he's not worth anything or worth a concrete spot in another team.
I don't think it's that. I honestly think, you know what? He is a fighter. And why would you want to leave Carlton right now?
Not at the moment. Exactly right.
We're a very injury-prone team. You're going to get a run. You will get a block of games.
Okay. Well, here's another question for discussion coming from Red O.
Red O. On your Red O.
Red O. Question for discussion. Does Silvani stay? And that was something that I wanted to bring up. Now, the club went public this week with both Harry Mackay and Jack Silvani to say that they're both expected to be available to play this week. Now, Harry Mackay obviously got up. We all expected that. I personally expected Jack Silvani to get up, but obviously he hasn't. Now, leave him. He's still currently uncontracted. I think there were talks with Brad Lloyd. He came out and said that he was one of the uncontracted players and one of the playing spots that they were looking to work through. What happens with Sauce?
Stays. He stays. He's not going.
Where are we going to get all the money to keep all these players?
Brown paper bag.
Just pay everyone to stay. You reckon? It's all dependent on what happens with everybody else, I guess.
The thing is, what's he worth to another team, and what are we willing to
pay for him to keep him?
Yeah, that's exactly. So you got to weigh it up.
Yeah,
I think
point.
We need depth, man, because again, we're so injury prone. So for me, keep them all.
Bro, you get it's funny enough. They say that we've called talks on Gresham from St Kilda, but now we're looking at keeping Sauce. Sauce isn't going anywhere. Sauce is staying.
The thing is, if you read through, I'm reading through the lines of Voss and his presses. Voss has said before, can't remember when, but he said if Pitnet's fit, he plays. All right, so Voss obviously rates him. You've signed TDK, he's going to play. All right, so that's your ruck sorted. You're not playing Sauce in the ruck then.
Yep.
Harry's there, Charlie's there. I think Martin is enjoying the last few weeks as a third pseudo tall sort of thing. Obviously, he plays taller than he is, but the Jack experiment, if you put him in there with him, does it work? This year, sometimes it's proven that sometimes it hasn't. You know what you're going to get from him. He's going to work his ass off as well. But that's where I think Sauce, and we spoke about it last week, he's going to want that role clarity. What's my role in this team? What's my position? What am I, this is what I'm going to contribute. You know what you're going to get from me. But how does that work exactly? Because then obviously we've gone Harry, Charlie, you've got, say, Cunners and Martin as your sort of mid-size forwards, and then you've got the smalls, which is your Owies and Motlop. So trying to fit and that balance in there, because he's now that if we got two ruckmen, but then again, Pitto, he's not been consistent with the games played every year as well. So you're probably gonna get a run. It'll be very interesting. But this again leads to the question: if we keep re-signing these players, right, there's going to be some hard decisions to be made, and there's going to be a few that we can probably wholeheartedly say Plowman, Phil, who had a bad run with injuries, a couple of others that probably won't. No, surely he's contracted. This guy, but yeah, they'll be. We don't have it against you, Lewis. I promise. But there's going to be some hard calls.
I just the one big positive about Sauce is that he does everything.
Yeah,
whatever you need him to do this week, he's got just enough skill to get it done. He's not a great defender. He's not a great forward. He's not a great ruckman, but he's great. He's got the tools in his box to just be able to get the job done.
In his box, huh?
Players in the league like that. And I actually think
that you don't get rid of players like that. You should not get rid of players like that. Players that can do everything or a bit of everything are so unique to the game that you'd be stupid to get rid of them. So
Yeah, he's not
I just think we can't let him go. I understand, again, if he decides to go, I get it, because he probably won't be in our best 22.
Yeah.
But you must keep him at the club. If I'm in charge of team selection, at list management, he is a priority to keep at our club, because I'd rather a player like that on my team than against my team.
Good call.
Interesting. I'm just looking at Cunningham, Fogarty, and Marchbank come up this year for renewal.
Bloody Nazir. He's like, please, guys, we went and got rid of Casbolt, who has way more upside than Silvani.
I hope that's
No.
sarcasm.
I hope so.
Casbolt played
Way more
200.
upset.
Casbolt is a 200+ game player. If he started his career at any other football club, he would have been delisted after 20. 100%.
Look, just going back to Sauce, I think for him it's going to come down to, I think, George, you mentioned it, role clarity and how much money means to him. Is he more about the tradition and the heritage of being able to play for Carlton and in the footsteps of his dad and his granddad? Or does his sort of interests lie in, maybe a bit more cash? And he'll be able to get it. I have no doubt that he'll be able to go to another rival club in Victoria and get, what he wants as far as what he's probably worth. 25, 26 probably?
20. Was he last? I reckon he's about 27 now.
25.
27.
25.
25? Is it really? Okay.
Come on, man. You can't get rid of a player.
Yeah, you can't.
He's still young.
You can't. No, you can't
do
do
everything.
everything. Personally,
Yeah.
I love the guy. I think the effort that he puts in, week out. He wears his emotion on his face. You can see him giving his all every single minute.
I love that. But that doesn't mean anything, because that's what players should be doing. That is the bare minimum for me. But he can play every position. And again, to me, that is so fucking important.
It's hard to find players that do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
The difference-
all right, to pose the question that you posed, Amal, who would you choose over Paddy Dow or Hollands? Who would you choose to keep if you had to keep either Paddy Dow or Jack Silvani?
Silvani.
I'd go Silvani all day.
Yeah, I agree.
Silvani.
Like
The
that
reason-
was not to say he's one-dimensional, but Solani's multi-dimensional, obviously. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Not only that, it was Silvani's effort has always been there when no one else's was. So you look back to the sort of the start of the season where you could probably name a handful of players that were putting in that effort that you expect week in, week out from AFL players, and Silvani was always top of the list as far as I'm concerned. So I've got a massive soft spot for him,
And good.
He needs to stay a bagger.
Good call from Lou in the chat. Silvani was playing career best football before he got injured. That was his career best patch. We can safely say, a couple of BOGs who's doing really well. So
yeah,
let's hope that he can rediscover that, and hopefully the knee injury hasn't hampered him. Because he was moving well, he was doing really well. So good luck to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, let's jump into predictions now. Whilst we go through the panel's predictions, for those watching along, chuck your predictions in the chat, and we'll go through them towards the end. Just a friendly reminder that there is a announcement at the end of the live stream. Andy will take you through it, so make sure you hang around for the end. Now, Carl, I'll kick it off with you. Winning margin, best on ground, and leading goal kicker, please.
BOG, I reckon Cripps is going to have an absolute belter. I reckon he's going to smash it in, outside, left, right, back, middle. Got to kill it. Top goal scorer. I'm going Jack Martin. I reckon Jack Martin's going to kick 4 or 5. And I reckon Carlton wins by 33.
Wow.
33 points. Moss?
I was going to say 33. I don't know how you plucked that, but we'll change it up.
Last week I said 9. He said 9. He's got copying me, man.
Carlton by 42. Kurno's going to get a bit of relief and kick 6. Lazy 6. BOG. Let's go Hewitt. Hewitt again. 30 plus touches, a lot of impact. Yeah, that's it for me, George.
I'm going to be a little bit conservative and say Carlton by 22. I think it'll be a bit of a slog.
About 4 goals is conservative.
It's conservative. I'm not tipping against us for the rest of the year, but as I said, I'm a little bit wary, noting that some of the scalps they've had. But I still think they've made some wholesale changes. I don't think they're going to be firing like we are. So so Carlton by 22. I will go Cripps for BOG. I think he'll play a good one. I think like Tuke Miller in the midfield. I don't know if Tuke will run with him or tag him, or he might pick up Hewitt and try and negate his hard ball influence as well. Who else they got in the midfield? Who cares anyway? With Flanders, stupid, sexy Flanders. So I think Cripps will.
Feels like I'm wearing nothing at all. Nothing at all.
Stupid, sexy Flanders. Oh, yeah, I think Cripps will have a big one. And I will agree with Carl. I think Jack Martin will be the beneficiary of Harry coming back. I think he'll enjoy and relish, Harry taking another defender with him, and he'll kick. You know what? I'm going to say he and Charlie will kick 3 each as the joint leading scorers. Andy.
Speaking of Flanders, I reckon we're going to give him the diddly. I reckon we're going to smash him. I reckon we're going to smash him. I reckon I'll be conservative and say 8 goals plus. I think BOG, Newman's just going to dominate again. I haven't actually called Newman as my BOG yet this year, but he's having a fucking ripper. I think now that Chera's had his weeks off, I think Newman's our BNF.
Really?
Yeah, I think Newman's our BNF.
You think that just that those couple of weeks will do enough to?
Well, it's been more than a couple of weeks now, hasn't it?
Newman's been building the whole year. He's had a great year.
Yeah, Newman's done well all year, so I reckon he would have polled some votes.
While Chera was topping it,
So
okay.
And I think some 9s and 8s or whatever.
It'll be between them two anyway.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if Cripps polls well. Cripps has had a decent year. He's flown under the radar as far as last year is concerned, but I think Cripps has had a good year. And goals, Harry. I think Harry's going to have a big one. I reckon he's going to relish the opportunity to come back into the side. He's got a bit to play for. I think he'll come back and prove a point to some certain media people who have no fucking clue. Anyone who's watching, if you think that Carlton is better off without Harry Mackay in this, and just don't watch football anymore. You should not watch footy anymore. Yeah. Stay watching the Monday Blues. We appreciate you, but don't watch football anymore.
That's the nicest response you've ever had to, because I reckon I know what you wanted to say.
You know what I want to say. Just log off. Just log off.
Go watch the Matildas.
Not now. Watch us now.
That's it. Mark, your turn.
5 goals we win by. I reckon best on ground will be I'm going to say Saad. Yeah.
Against his old mob.
No reason. Absolutely no reason why. I'm just going to say Saad because I like him. And leading goal kicker, you know what? I reckon I wouldn't be surprised.
You said it because it's Arab.
Yeah, no, 100%. I reckon it's going to be Jack Martin as well. I think he's going to put a show on. I just don't think they've got enough defensive power to stop the likes of Curnow, Mackay, and Martin, and I think they're going to put a lot of their focus on those 2 key forwards with it. And Martin's going to slip under the radar and kick a bag. Let's say 5, I think, from Martin. Going through the chat now, we've got Nazir who reckons that the Baggers will win by 70 plus. John Holden reckons Blues by 22, Charlie to kick 5, and best on ground Hewitt. Probably not a bad shout. Lana, Blues by 58. Cameron Bayer, Dow, best on ground 30 plus. Wow. Charlie will kick 6 and Carlton will win by 41. Peter V, Blue Bagger, Blues by 18 points. Best on ground, Cripper and Harry with a bag of 4 goals. I don't see anyone else, but I think that might be it. Oh, and Jib, Carlton by 92. Ed Kerno, best on ground and gets subbed on. Scores 8.
Shout out to my mate Ebby. I know he's watching. He's tipped us by 150 points, but shout out to him because he's a Collingwood fan. Thank you, Ebby. Thanks for tuning in.
One last prediction from 7. Carlton by 32 points and Hazard a kick 5.
Easy.
Well, gents, there you go. One more
Before we
win
go,
and
Mark?
we... Oh, shit. Sorry.
Come on, Mark. Far out.
Somebody look at this.
So,
Andy,
ladies
I'll
and
hand it
gents,
over to Andy.
ladies and gents, got something exciting happening. So we appreciate everyone, staying on, watching us, and following us everywhere: YouTube and Instagram, TikTok. Like I said last week, we started this channel literally just because we were depressed. We were literally depressed.
PTSD, anxiety, depression.
The team was, playing pretty poorly, and things weren't going our way, and we just thought, fuck, we
WhatsApp
talk
combo.
about this all the time. We literally talk about, why don't we just record it? And maybe there's 5 other people who agree with us. And it turns out there was a lot more than 5. So we're really, really grateful for everyone. And to give something back, we're going to run a small giveaway. Now, it'll be simple. The terms and all that will be released on Instagram next week. Very easy. You won't have to do much. But the prize...
I think it's a bit more than a small prize, Andy.
Yeah, the prize is pretty great.
Pretty
Is
big.
it size small or...
No small prizes here. What you need to do to actually enter is fairly small.
Fairly straightforward. Yeah.
Yeah,
$400 a ticket.
but there is no monetary. Just honestly, it'll be free to enter. Enter as many times as you like, but the details will come out next week.
Yeah. Just give us
But
your
the
credit card.
prize is a signed Team Guernsey from 2023. The Premiership side. Inshallah, anyway. So yeah, this will be the prize. A signed Guernsey, fully official. It comes with a certificate of authenticity.
And we
Just
might
to say
sign it.
thank.
We might sign the back.
we might sign the back. It's just to say thank you for everyone who's supported us, and just to show a bit of appreciation back to you guys. We're really thankful, like I said. So keep your eyes on Instagram next week. We'll give you the details on how to. We'll probably announce winners during the week off before finals, just to really G ourselves up for finals, because we are going to make it and we're going to win 4 in a row in finals.
And
But yeah, keep your eyes out on Instagram. Like I said, thank you so much to everyone for watching and supporting, and tell all your mates. Anyone can enter as long as they're following the page. But yeah, all the details will come out next week, so keep your eyes open for that.
It's a great prize. It's directly from the club. It's a great prize. Great for you. Join Andy in framing one for your shelves. Wear it proudly to the games if you're younger than 8 years old. But it's honestly it's a
There's rules around that.
tell your friends, your aunties, your uncles, your mum, your dad, use their phone, subscribe to the app, to the bloody website and everything and all that stuff. And yeah,
keep an eye out on the socials.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's an epic giveaway, and I'm hoping that we get as many people jump onto it as possible, because things like this, few and far in between, hard to come by. So make sure you give yourself the opportunity to win it. Gents, 2:10 Saturday Arvo on KO for me. Anyone going to be flying up, or we're all watching it from the comfort?
I was
of our own
dying to fly up.
Close.
I was absolutely dying to. Georgie, I was harassing Georgie.
If Andy messaged me one more time, I probably would have been on flight setup.
Oh, geez.
Right.
Well,
Adelaide was
round
enough this year.
23. Round 23, Gold Coast Suns versus Carlton, Saturday, the 19th of August, 2023, 2:10 p.m., Heritage Bank Stadium. It's going to be the game that will, I'm hoping, finally get us through to finals. I hope it's the case.
Easy money.
It should be. It very much should be. Until the review, gentlemen, I'm hoping it's a good one where we're celebrating the birth of the Carlton Blues making it to the finals finally after, what is it, a decade longer?
Yeah.
And we can have a good old yarn over it. But until then, from the Monday Baggers, it is sayonara, and we'll see you all then. Cheers, gents.
Sick,
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Nice.